Alright gamers both young and old, let's be frank to ourselves. Hack and slash games or beat 'em up games are always famous throughout times. Let it be old or let it be young, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is actually one of the best games that is in this category. Although I do admit some of the weapons do not make sense, which I'll be talking up later, but eventually you can, let's say, try different weapons and, let's say, to suit your styles of fighting. And in the first NES game, although sadly it's only a single person game, it allows you to pick or, let's say, choose your these turtles as you please. Even you're allowed to interchange in the middle of the game. And as usual, due to Zelda and Mario fashion, the girl is being kidnapped and we have to save April this time. Now let's see how do we do it with Donatello. You can see his katana is kind of, let's say, short. It's not going to, let's say, do, let's say, the damage they want. So most of the time, sadly, which is a flaw of this game, you will be using Donatello for his stick or the bow is a very long range weapon, which is the most efficient weapon in the game. Take for instance, we are dealing with Rocksteady here and he has a gun in his hand. Although we have shurikens, but you can see the number is limited, so the best way to do with it is to hide over here and keep on whacking his head with the with the bull stick. And I have no idea by right the stick is not even reaching him, but it actually does damage to that hard-hated Rhinoceros. Eventually then you win the game, so most of the time you will be using Donatello, but you will find out that you'll see that there's not much of challenge, and eventually you'll be using Leo or Mike. As for Raphael's stabbing blades, which is the shortest range, more like going to develop a punch on your enemy, you won't be using that. Now there are a lot of levels that you'll be walking around, you'll be going back to your home and find your master and maybe have a good talk. What the hell? Oh, not a game. Just put it this way, in the Ninja Turtle games, there are two people who always get themselves kidnapped. First, April. I mean, she's a damsel in distress, we do get it. Now, I really can't understand why Master Splinter is the one who, let's say, got kidnapped most of the time. He is the master, for God's sakes. He was the one that have taught these four teenage turtles how to fight, how to kick ass, and yet this still happens. I need an explanation for this. Seriously, I need an explanation for this. But what the hell? This is an NES game. I doubt that's gonna happen. So, since April is the girl that's going to lead us through a pack, and we'll be doing our, let's say, central command here. So let's go and find Master Splinter in our car, in public. Yes, and just let you know, you can even start shooting more of your enemy over here. And we are fighting a turtle clone here. Now, in this game, you got two stuff that you can use. Your normal attack, and then a special energy attack, or let's say range weapon you have. And at present, Donatello is using a scroll where he throw energy beams at his enemy. The good thing of this energy beam is actually can block some attacks and, let's say, cause some damage to the opposition. And with that, we easily say Splinter. And there was a helicopter. Eventually, yeah, the bad guys escape from that. Okay, now with Splinter back in the stage, he will be taking part in the central command again. And you can see there's a map over there giving you instructions on how to go. Oh, now this is kind of nostalgic. If you have watched the cartoon, you do know that there's a certain scientist who created these two-legged walking dodo birds with, let's say, very sharp beaks, and it's kind of intimidating when we were kids, but once we grow up, we do find this hilarious. Not to mention, in this game, it's kind of hilarious to see this, which is easy deal by, as I mentioned, the longest range weapon over here. If you are using other people, you eventually need to jump, and sometimes you miss, and when the small critters hit the ground, they'll be biting your ankles until you die, which is kind of sad thing. And we'll be going into a blimp, which is not a very stealth weapon, or let's say stealth transport. By the way, we are turtles anyway, so I don't think we work on human logic. Although we are ninjas, but who gives a fuck? Alright, let's go to the next fight. And this is one of the final fights. We can see you are firing the pterodon using the energy beams, and eventually they'll be throwing out fruit cans to fight you. So the energy beams will be kind of useful here, and so is the boost. They actually keep the enemy at bay and makes things much more easier for the player. But the sad thing is, it's very hard to, let's say, find pizza in the game which repairs your health. So sooner or later you will be, let's say, using the other turtles just to make sure that Donatello will have enough stamina or, let's say, health points to be fighting a final round. So there's one strategy here that you can eventually use. If you see special weapons on the ground, right? Use other turtles to pick it, and the other turtles are only here for one thing. Not to use their weapons, but to use the ranged weapons to fight. And when you need, let's say, to do melee with the bull stick, then you just bring out Donatello. So overall, the strategy of this game is kind of simple. It's not that hard. Although I have no idea why the angry video gamer consider this difficult, which most of us don't. But on the other hand, we are all grown-ups here and we eventually figured, yeah, we can do it in this way. But I believe when we were kids then, this thing never came in mind unless you are playing the game, getting frustrated, and our father will be sitting there there laughing at our ass, laughing their asses off, telling us that we should have done that, and we are silly enough not to do that. Okay, let's see who we can find out. As usual, you'll be fighting Strider. And since Raphael is running out of health, it's better off to go to Donatello again and use his stick against him. Ah, never mind, the present since I got a ranged weapon, just kill him, dump it until he's finished. Yeah, that's it. Remember, as I mentioned before, never bring a knife to a gunfight. And in modern times, no one is doing a knife fight. If you have a gun, bring a gun. Don't believe in Kung Fu movies or ninja movies and believe that ancient weapons are the best. There's no such thing. And I have no idea why Splinter is turning the human form. And I have no idea why he looks like a pale face. Why? Why should you be a Masashi? Shouldn't you be a Japanese for God's sakes? Oh, never mind. I think that'll be all. So remember to like and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next game. Oh, by the way, this ending is a lie.